До початку нашого заходу залишається 1 хвилина, тому, будь ласка, займайте зручні місця.
It is only 1 minute before we start, so please be taking the most comfortable places.
Добрий вечір, шановні колеги, партнери, друзі. Раді вітати вас
Good evening, dear partners, colleagues, friends. We are glad to meet you at the Partnership for Sustainability Award, the most honorable award in the corporate sustainability and ESG.
Дуже цінно, що ми зібралися саме
From,
сьогодні,
and
наприкінці
we are
року,
glad
щоб
that we have met
підвести
today at the
підсумки,
end
а
of the
також щоб
year
привітати і
with
відзначити
our
історії
conclusions,
успішних
to
партнерств
greet and to
бізнесу,
look at the
держави,
stories, case
громадянського
cases of
суспільства.
successful partnerships from
Сьогоднішню
businesses,
подію ми
state,
розпочнемо
public,
з
and
хвилини
NGOs.
мовчання, щоб
But we
вшанувати
will start
пам'ять
today's
усіх тих,
event from the
кого
minute of
забрала
silence
російська агресія
to
проти
remember
України.
everyone who's been taken by the Russian aggression against Ukraine.
Дякую.
Thank you.
Сьогоднішня подія складатиметься з
Today's
кількох
event
частин.
will have several
Спочатку
parts in
ми
it.
привітаємо вас
We will
вступними
start
словами,
with
потім
introductory
буде
words to
панельна
welcome
дискусія, де ми
everyone. Then we will
проговоримо
move on to
роль
the panel
партнерств.
discussion. We
Далі
will
ми
talk
перейдемо
on the role of the
безпосередньо до
partnerships, and
нагородження
then we will
історії
move
успішних
directly
партнерств.
to the
А
awards
потім ми будемо
presentation.
раді
And
продовжити
after that,
спілкування
we
більш
will be
неформально.
happy to continue
Тож
networking in
кілька
more
технічних
informal.
моментів. Ми знаходимося на мінус
So
першому
several technical
поверсі. У разі
points. We are
повітряної
at the
тривоги ми
floor
залишаємося
-1,
тут.
so
Це
in
місце
case of the
небезпечне.
alarm, this place is safe. We stay here.
Оскільки наша подія сьогодні
As
про
our
партнерство,
event
я
today
хочу
is about
висловити
partnership,
особливу подяку
I want to
партнерам
thank
нашого
separately
заходу.
the partners
Тож,
of our
партнерами
event,
заходу є
the
Фонд
partners
Східна
of our
Європа. Прошу
partnership.
ваших оплесків.
This in your fund, the round of applause, please.
Культурні сили.
Cultural forces, або культурні сили.
Буде невеликий спойлер, але культурні сили
Let me give a
підготували
little
особливий сюрприз.
spoiler. There is a special
Сота
surprise
Cinema
from
Group.
them today. Sota Cinema Group,
Київ Academy of Media Arts. КАМА.
Kyiv Academy of Media Arts,
Task Force.
Task Force,
Головний медіапартнер події
our
Starlight
main
Media.
media partner is Starlight Media.
Попрошу ще кілька ваших оплесків.
A
Також
little bit more applause,
медіапартнери це
please,
The
and
Page
other
та Mind.
media partners, The Page and Mind.
Mind.ua.
It mine's right.
Святкові партнери сьогоднішньої
And
події
our
Моршинська
celebratory
та
partners are
Аламор Дю.
Mortenska and Stilmortiu.
Вдячні всім за
We
підтримку
want to
партнерства.
thank
Тож,
everyone
ми
for their
переходимо до
partnership and
вітальних слів, і
support.
я
And now
рада
we
запросити на
start
цю
with the
сцену
welcome words, and I'm
генеральну
really
директорку
glad to
Глобального
invite
договору ООН в Україні,
the
голову Ради регіональних мереж Глобального договору ООН Східної Європи та
the
Центральної Азії Тетяну Сахарук.
to
Ваші
invite
оплески.
Tatiana Sakharuk, the Executive Director, UN Global Compact Ukraine, Chair for the Regional Network Council for Eastern Ukraine and
Всіх
Central
вітаю.
Asia, the UN Global
Партнерства
Compact.
це коли
Dear friends,
один плюс один
welcome. Partnership
дорівнює
is
більше, ніж два.
when one plus
Сьогодні
one
ми відзначаємо
equals more
вже
than two.
сьому церемонію
Today we're
нагородження
celebrating the
Partnership
seventh
for
Awardment of
Sustainability Award.
Partnership for
Це коли
Sustainability Award.
компанії
This is
об'єднуються
when the
з такими ж
companies are
компаніями, як
joining
вони,
with other
з
companies
громадським
just like
сектором,
them,
з
whether
органами
in public
місцевого
sector,
самоврядування або з академічним
self-governing
сектором
bodies,
і роблять свої проекти
educational or
сталого
scientific
розвитку
sector,
разом.
and run their
Через це
sustainability
партнерство ми
project
бачимо
jointly.
на протязі
Through this
всіх цих
partnership,
років,
we can see in
наскільки
all
ці
these years
проекти
how much
отримують
these
більший ефект,
projects
охоплюють
how much
більшу
more
кількість
efficient these
людей, яким
projects
вони
are,
допомагають,
how much more
або
people
привносять
and
більше інновацій
beneficiaries they can
в саму
cover,
суть
how
проекту.
much more
І ми
innovations they are
насправді
bringing to the
хочемо
essence of the
підсвітити роль
project.
партнерств
And
для
we
того,
really
щоб
want to show,
спонукати
to
інші
emphasize
компанії
the
в
role of the
Україні, у всьому
partnerships, to
світі
encourage other
об'єднуватись.
companies in
Бо
Ukraine and all over
в
the world
партнерстві
to
ми можемо
join,
робити
because
набагато
it is
більше.
in the partnership that we
Я
can
пишаюся
do
тим,
much
що ми в
more.
глобальному договорі
I'm really
ООН
proud
теж
that
маємо власних партнерів.
in
І
the
кожного
UN
року
Global Compact,
наші
we also have
проекти
our
теж
partners.
розширюються.
And every year,
Я
our
дуже хочу
projects are
поділитися
expanding.
нашими історіями
And I
успіху і
strongly
нашими
want to
планами на
share our
майбутнє.
success stories and our
Першим
plans for
нашим
the
проектом
future.
це
And our
найамбітніший
first
проект для
project,
Глобального
the most
договору ООН в
ambitious
Україні. Це
projects on the
створення
UN Global
культури
Compact,
ESG
is
в
the
бізнесі в
creation
Україні.
of the ESG
Цього року ми
culture in
провели
the
дослідження і
Ukrainian
зрозуміли,
business.
що
This year we've run
молодь
a survey and we
любить
understood that the
ESG. Вони
youth
хочуть, щоб
love
їхні
ESG,
компанії, в які
that
вони
they
прийдуть
want
працювати,
to come to
включали
companies, they
ESG в
want
свою
their
діяльність.
employers to
Але коли
care
ти
about
запитуєш
ESG,
у
to involve it.
молодої людини,
But
що
when you're
означає
asking a
ESG,
younger person, what
дуже
is
маленький
ESG?
відсоток з
There are
них
not so many, there's
розповісти
very
відповідь.
little share of them
Це
who were
означає,
able to
що
answer.
якщо вони прийдуть
This
працювати в
means
компанію,
that
не
if they
розуміючи,
come to work
що
in a
саме вони
company
будуть
without
робити,
exactly
їм буде дуже
understanding what it
складно
is that
допомогти
you
цій
do,
компанії
it will be very
розвиватися в
difficult for
цьому
them to
напрямку.
help this company to
Тому
develop in
ми в
this
цьому
direction.
році розпочали
Therefore, that's
проект,
why
але
this year
будемо
we started the
продовжувати і в
project and we
наступному
will
році. Ми
keep working on
створюємо
it next
школу
year.
ESG,
We
яка
are
охопить
creating an
величезну кількість
ESG school
людей в Україні.
that will
Від
cover a
студентів
huge number
до
of
МСП,
beneficiaries all over
до
Ukraine, from
працівників великих
students,
підприємств.
small
Бо
and
ми хочемо,
medium
щоб
businesses,
кожен
and
працівник, який
workers
зараз
and
працює на підприємстві
employees
в
of
Україні,
huge
розумів,
enterprises, large
яким чином
enterprises. We
впроваджувати
want every
екологічні,
person
соціальні,
working in Ukraine,
антикорупційні
in the
принципи
Ukrainian
в
business
свою
today
роботу
would
і в роботу
understand
своєї
how to
компанії.
implement the social and
Тому ми
anti-corruption
об'єднали
and
понад
ecological
40
principles in their
учасників в
work.
робочу
That's
групу,
why
які працюють
over
над створенням
40 members
контенту,
created a working
доречним
group
для українських
creating a
реалій.
content
Ми
that
беремо
is
міжнародну
relevant to
експертизу.
Ukrainian
Ми
reality.
партнеримось з
We are
міжнародними
looking at the
донорами,
international
донором по напрямку
expertise. We are
environmental у
partners
нас
with
є FCTO
international
в
partners such as
Британці,
CTO, Great Britain,
партнером по
our
напрямку
partners,
Social у нас є
and
UNDP і
even for
партнером G,
social
щойно
UNDP is our
повернулися з
partner,
Катару,
and
де ми
our
з
G
Генеральним
partners
офісом
have just
Глобального договору
returned
ООН
from
підписали
Qatar,
договір
where
на
we have
розвиток
signed
компоненту чи
the
governance
agreement on the development of the
системи
government
ESG в Україні.
sustainability in
Тож
ESG
у нас є
within the
ціла
ESG
купа
system for
міжнародних
Ukraine.
партнерів,
Therefore, we
але
have a
цього
lot of
недостатньо.
international
Ми
partners,
долучаємо
but
ще й
this is
український
not
бізнес,
enough.
який допомагає
So
нам
we are
створювати
also
контент
involving
і
or
створювати практичні
attracting
кейси. Бо ми
Ukrainian
хочемо,
business that
щоб
helps
люди
us
знали
to
не
create
лише теорію, а
content and to
розуміли,
keep
як
our
цю
cases
теорію
practical, because we want people not just to know the theory,
втілювати на
but
практиці.
know how to put this
Тож
theory
в
into
наступному
life.
році ми запускаємо
Thus, next
ESG
year
школу
we will start
360.
the
Чому
ESG
360?
School
Бо ми хочемо
360.
показати
Why
повноцінно, що це
360? Because
означає.
it has
Не
to show
якимось
that we will
окремками,
show
а
full scale of
повністю.
it. You know, we will
Такий хелікоптер-в'ю для
comprehensively show
того,
it,
щоб
give such a
розуміти, що
helicopter
це
view
і
for
як
the
це
full
впроваджувати в
understanding
практику.
of what it is and how to
Наш
implement
наступний
it.
проект – це
Another project I want to tell us is the course called Energetic, which is an energy specialist. Again, we've run a survey in the energy sector, and we understood that energy sector companies are now lacking people whom they need already today and will need even more tomorrow. And we started thinking, how can we improve it? How we can attract, involve the youth to this profession, or how can we attract people who are looking for new job opportunities to the energy sector? And together with Optima School and the tech company, we have joined our effort and started the energetic course, which we started in October. And only within the first month, 300 participants were registered, and over 80 of them have already graduated. A great thing about this project is that at the end of the course, there is a digital map with which a graduate can choose a region there where they would like to practice. And a company there has obliged to take this person for the practice time, and if the person passes successfully, they will be working in this company. And we are now working on attracting new companies that would join this project, also in order to find good specialists in the energy area. And another project I want to mention, but also very important, is mental health project. This is a project that was started in 2022 when full-scale invasion started, when the companies were coming to us and asking to run some training for people to help them, to concentrate on their work, because due to the war, there was a very high level of instability and people were lost. And we've run session one, session two, session 10, session, and we understood that there is just a lot of sessions and we cannot manually manage it. And that's when we decided to create a platform that would unite psychologists with people who need psychological help. As of today, the platform has served over 25,000 clients who beneficiaries who are coming to the platform with very different problems, sharing their problems, and our psychologists have helped them to find this. And when I'm reading the feedback and I see how people write, you've helped me to start breathing again. You've returned a smile on my face. You've helped me to stop thinking. It's helped. We help when we help parents who have lost their children at the warfare and were thinking about ending their own lives. When people are getting up after a night of selling and they understand that they don't want to go to work, but they will because, a lot of other lives depend on that. But at some point, we understand that just help is not, just platform is not enough. And then we started a Meshpesa center in Zaporizhia near frontline area because we understood that people there are affected much more than in central Ukraine or western Ukraine. We found partners who were helping us, Israeli Coalition of the Trauma, American Association of Depression, of Anxiety, University of California, and Denver University. Several other partners were helping us to find alternative methods of the human support. And because we were understanding that we are lacking psychologists, we just cannot run individual, provide individual session for everyone who needs it. And we really needed new methods that would be just as efficient in helping people to fight their problems. And through this experience of our partner, we created a community center in Zaporizhia that has been open for 2.5 years, that has served over 20,000 people. And the only request to this, please do not close it. Keep it working. Because after USAID was closed, a lot of projects also were closed, and we are almost the only platform who helps people in Zaporizhia not to stay one to one with their problems at least several hours once in a while have some time to have some creative activity, communicate with psychologists,
Я
just
дуже
switch
рада,
their
що сьогодні
focus
з нами
to
наш такий
normal life.
партнер.
And I'm
І
really glad to
прошу
say
вас
that
доєднатися.
today
Ігор Тополов.
here we have one of our London partners, Yegor
Доктор
Topolov,
психологічних наук,
Doctor of
член Апарату
Psychology,
глобального
UN
договору
Global
ООН,
Compact Ukraine
наш надійний
Supervisory
партнер та
Board
консультант
member,
по
and
питаннях психологічної підтримки
our
людей.
partner and our
Пане Ігор,
consultant
поділіться, будь
on
ласка, своїми
psychological,
враженнями і
mental, and psychosocial
скажіть, будь ласка,
support.
яким чином
Igor,
утворилося
if
це
you
партнерство.
could please share your experience and tell about this partnership. We cannot select the time to live in, we can only adapt to it. And all of us are now in such conditions that we are trying to adapt as much as possible to a totally unadaptable, not normal situation. Do you know who can adapt the best? But however strange it sounds, it's business. Because business exists at any conditions. Laws change, authorities change, new tariff fees appear, logistics change. COVID has hit and business survived. And even this terrible force majeure, the full-scale war that no one of us could expect it, still business survived. But what is business? Business is people, business managers, workers, employees, and employers. And what do they have in common? Mentality, psychological, mental processes. We are living in such times when the mental health is really damaged. Yes, if we look at the number of anxiety attacks, antidepressants, tranquilizants, and the huge exceed, but increase. But that's because we are alive people and we are living in these conditions. We are suffering, and I'm really glad that one of the main areas of the global activity plan is mental health, mental and psychosocial support. Because for a person to work, the person has to be in, normal conditions, and we're all interested in that, employers and employees, all of us. And I guess I've joined the mental health from the very start to the psychological component, because when we talk about self-assessment, self-esteem, it's so easy to ruin the self-esteem, but it's so long, difficult, and costly to renew it. And I would say the same is true, even more true as for mental health. And I'm sure that Ukrainian business will be ready to cope with it and to deal
Дякую
with it.
дуже.
Thank you so much.
Подальший розвиток нашого проекту. Ми
And
зараз
was
намагаємося
a part
показати
of
всьому
the
світу,
development of
що
our
бізнес,
project.
який
We are now
підтримує своїх
trying to
працівників,
show the
щодня
whole world
в
that
ментальному
business
плані, в
that's
фізичному
supporting
плані,
its employees
він
every
виграє
day, mentally,
в довгій
physically,
перспективі.
this
І
business
ми
in long
бачимо,
term
що
run wins.
підтримка ментального
And
здоров'я
we
стає
want to
обов'язковою
make
складовою
sure that
компоненту С
mental health
соціального
support
в
is
рамках
an
ІСЧ. І ми
obligatory
зараз працюємо
component
з
of the
нашим глобальним
social
офісом за
component within the
акселераційними
ESG.
програмами для
And we are
того,
now
щоб
working with the
показати
global
через
office
український
acceleration
досвід,
programs to
наскільки
show
це важливо, і
through
наскільки
Ukrainian experience
це
how
допомагає
important it
уникнути
is
ментальних
and how
проблем
much
в
it
бізнесі.
helps
Бо ми
to
бачимо по всьому світу,
um,
що таких проблем
and then
дуже
they have
багато, і вже
critical death
час,
problems
коли
at the
бізнес може їх
workplaces,
виправити.
because we see that these problems are happening all over the world, and it
Партнерство
is time for
це
business to
ці
affect it.
17
And
цілей сталого розвитку.
partnership, we have
І не дарма
17
193
sustainable
країни світу
development targets.
обрали цю тему
And it is
як
for a reason that
обов'язково до виконання до
193
2030
countries
року.
have chosen this topic
Бо
as
через
obligatory
партнерство
for
ми
performance
можемо
until
дійсно
2030.
зробити наші
Because it
мрії
is through the
реальністю.
partnership that we
Давайте
can turn our
рухатися
dreams
разом
into reality.
через
Let's
нашу
do it
нагороду, через
together.
наші постійні
Let's do
спонсорські
it in
проекти.
particular with our award and with our constant and continuous work in Ukraine. Thank you.
Я запрошую до вітального
And I
слова
want to invite for the
Олександра Каву,
introductory word Alexander
заступника міністра
Kava,
фінансів України.
Deputy
Ваші
Minister of
оплески.
Finance of Ukraine. Applause for Mr. Alexander, please.
Доброго дня, шановні
Good
гості.
afternoon,
Для мене
dear
велика честь
audience, dear
брати участь у цьому
listeners.
заході.
It's a
І
huge honor for me to be
ми
taking
всі
part in this
розуміємо,
event,
наскільки
and we all
розвиток нашої
understand
країни
how
є
much
важливий, особливо в
development of
цей
our
складний
country is
період, коли,
important,
на жаль,
especially in this difficult
продовжуються
time
бойові дії.
when
На жаль,
unfortunately
щодня
the
ми отримуємо
warfare continues
інформацію про
every
те,
day. We are
як вони
getting
проходять. На жаль, є
information
загиблі, є
about
поранені,
the
але
dead and
країна не зупиняється.
wounded, but the
І
country,
відповідно
but Ukraine
країна
doesn't
має
stop, and
забезпечувати
this
наших
means that Ukraine has
солдат
to
всім
be
необхідним. Ми нещодавно
supporting,
ухвалили
providing
бюджет
our
на наступний
army
рік,
soldiers with
і це
everything
була велика
necessary.
боротьба
The
нашого
budget for
уряду
the next
за те, щоб
year has
цей проект
recently been
бюджету був
approved, and there was a big
підтриманий.
fight
І
of our government
пріоритетом
to
основним
have this
по
a
видатках є,
budget
звісно,
draft
сектор
approved and
безпеки і
confirmed. And
оборони.
of course,
Другим
the main
пріоритетом
costs are
залишаються
security
наші
and defense.
соціальні
The second
зобов'язання
priority is
перед
our
громадянами. І
social
третя частина це
obligations to
проекти
our
розвитку. На
citizens.
жаль,
And the
не
third
так
one are
багато коштів
development
на
projects.
це спрямовано,
Unfortunately,
проте
not that many funds
переважна
will
більшість
go
проєктів,
there,
які
but
фінансуються, вони
the
відповідають цілям
majority of the
сталого
projects that
розвитку
are being
для того, щоб
financed are
наша
compliant
країна,
with
незважаючи
is
на всю
sustainable
складність
development
ситуації, де ми
purposes to
опинилися,
ensure that our
ті
country,
проекти, які
regardless of all
імплементуються,
the
вони відповідали тим
scares of the
параметрам, на які
situation
ми
we are
погодились
in, would
в
be a country
проектах
that is
ESG. І це
compliant
проекти і
uh,
розвитку
with our
інфраструктури, і
obligations
розвитку
and commitment
транспорту,
within the
і
ESG projects. That's
розбудови
development of
інших
infrastructure, development transport,
природоохоронних
infrastructure development,
заходів, тому що без
enhancement and
цього ми
development
не
of the
зможемо
nature
передати
protection
нашим дітям, нашим
activities.
онукам
Because if we
країну
don't do that, we
дійсно
will not
сучасну,
be
яка
able to
робить правильні
pass
кроки
our
для
children
розвитку.
and our
Тож щиро дякую
grandchildren
за
an up modern
цю можливість
country, developed
і
country
передаю слово.
that is capable of developing. So thank you for this opportunity of being here.
Дякую. Наступним до вітального слова я рада
And the
запросити
next,
Павла Карташова,
glad to
заступника
invite
міністра
to the
економіки,
introductory
захисту
word
довкілля та
of
сільського
Petro
господарства.
Kartashov, the Deputy Minister of the Ministry of the Agriculture
Доброго дня, шановні
and
друзі,
Development. Yep.
шановні організатори, партнери заходу, всі учасники.
Dear
Для
friends,
мене велика честь
dear
сьогодні бути тут
partners
присутнім на
and
сьомій
participants, it's a huge honor for me
події
to be here
партнерства заради
at the
сталого
seventh
розвитку, яку
uh,
ініціює глобальний
Partnership for
фонд Довкілля.
Sustainable Development
Насамперед,
Award
сьогоднішній захід – це не так
within the
подія,
Global
це
Convert
насправді
Network
простір,
Ukraine. And I should
простір
say that
довіри,
today's event is
простір
not just an event,
спільної
it's also
відповідальності,
a space of
простір співпраці.
trust, of joint
Дуже важливо,
cooperation,
що
joint
діяльність
responsibility and
Global Compact
cooperation.
Network
It is very
він
important that the
полягає
activity of
не
Global
тільки
Compact
в одному
Network
вимірі, а
Ukraine
це три
is
компоненти.
not
Як мінімум,
only within,
перш за все, це про бізнес.
one layer.
Бізнес,
It's
який сьогодні
three
дуже швидко
directions.
адаптується до
It's
нових
about
реалій,
business that is now
до всіх
adopting to
руйнувань,
new
і бізнес,
reality, to all
який
the
трансформується
damages, the
і
business that
задає
is
тон
now
для
being
відновлення.
transformed
По-друге, це
and
громадянське суспільство, яке сьогодні є
updated and
на новому
renewed. The second
прозорості,
thing is perhaps the
транспарентності і довірі.
social
І по-третє, це,
community
напевно,
that
роль
is
держави,
perhaps now showing
яка
the
задає
transparency and
політики,
trust,
задає
and the
тональність
state,
і
the government that creates the
основу для
policies,
масштабування
give
рішень і
create
для їх
the
впровадження.
basis for
Дуже
scalability and
важливо, що
implementation of the
цей захід є
decisions.
міжнародним.
It is
Сьогодні
very
будуть представлені
important that
проекти
today's
з
event that
23 країн,
international
наскільки я розумію.
there will
І
be
це є
projects
знаком
from
якості, це
23
є знак
countries.
підтвердження
That's
того, що
also a
ми давно
sign of
інтегровані в
quality. It
глобальну
shows that how
систему.
we are
Також
integrated
хочеться відмітити особливий склад
uh,
журі, а
in
це
the global system. And I
міжнародно
also
визнана
want to
спільнота,
emphasize
це і
to this jury,
вибачте, Лондонська школа економіки,
London
Гарвард,
Economy School,
Міжнародний
Harvard,
Базельський інститут і багато
Basel,
інших компаній. І це, напевно,
Basel
дає
Institute
знак
of
якості таких
Governance,
проєктів, які
University of
відвідані були сьогодні
California,
представлені.
and I
І,
believe this
напевно,
is
дуже
also a
важливо, що ці
quality sign for the
проекти
projects that
спрямовані
will be
насамперед на
presented
відновлення,
today. It's
відповідають
particularly
сталим цілям
important.
ООН.
These projects are
І ці
aimed at the
проекти мають собі компоненти
renewal,
інноваційності
and
і,
they are
звичайно,
compliant with the
відновлення.
UN
Це
targets, and they also
насправді
have
дуже
the
важливо, тому
components
що
of
це показує,
sustainability
наскільки
and
швидко ми
green
трансформуємося в
renewal,
нових
because
реаліях,
it's really important.
наскільки
It shows
швидким
how
і інноваційним операційним має бути
rapidly we are transforming and within the new reality and how fast the adaptation should be happening. And I want to thank all the partners, everyone who has supported this event. And I hope that today we will see a lot of interesting presentations and the awards will find their owners. And I'm also glad to invite for the green word Alexandra Matvichuk, human rights lawyer, head of the Center for Civil Liberties, uh, 2022 Nobel Peace Prize laureate, ambassador for the human rights stream, UN Global Compact Ukraine. Good afternoon to everyone. That's a great honor for me to be addressing this audience. You know, in our life, we're lacking stability, and that's why it is so important that seventh year in a row, UN Global Compact in Ukraine is running this award and awarding the businesses and public organizations, social organizations that are aimed at fighting the challenges of today's world. And today's world is a huge challenge. The change is new normal. I'm thinking from time to time how the history scientists of the future will be learning this, will be naming at the time when all the safety, reliability that we're used to, that's based on the UN Global Compact and international rights, is changing, is ruining. And I mean, it's clear that everything has an expiry term. Perhaps it is now the expiry term of the system, and then there are more other problems like social inequality, climate change, unequal access to education, growing number of the war climate, military conflicts. And we here in Ukraine understand better than anyone what it means now, you know, to live at the times of the military conflict. But this time also gives us a chance to provide our best qualities, to be brave, to take responsibility, to fight for freedom, to support each other. Because when we are supporting each other, when we are building partnerships, when we are overcoming challenges, when people in Ukraine are risking their lives for other people, they have never seen, this is when we understand what it means to be a human. And these traumatic times are testing how brave we are, how much of a leaders we are, how truly responsible we are. And it is an honor for me to be here and to thank you for your work. To thank you, first of all, as people, because every business, behind every business, there are people. And it is extremely important. And I, as human rights lawyer, I know that when legal tools don't work, when all international system of peace and security fails, you still can find support in usual people, because usual people can do unusual, extraordinary things. And this proves that when you're entering the period of changes, when the whole system of peace and safety is being ruined, as you're watching it, you still can affect it. You have your word and you have your position. And this is not that little. Thank you so much.
Шановні гості, далі ми
Dear
підійдемо
guests,
до обговорення
we are
важливості
now
партнерства.
moving to the discussion of the importance of the partnership, and we will look at it through the scope of different businesses and different international organizations. And I'm glad to invite to panel discussion on partnership and strategy collective solutions for sustainable development. Moderator of the discussion, Oksana Sokolova. Oksana Sokolova, head of the Public Affairs Program Editorial Office, Starlight News, host and author of the weekly television programs Fakti Tizhnya, The Facts of the Week on ICTV. Good afternoon, dear everyone. Not so often I have an opportunity to moderate discussions in such a wonderful audience, and today everything will end with awards, and we will start here, but we will discuss some very important things about partnership. And while the furniture is being set, let me invite participants of our conversation. So Victor Lach, President of East Europe Foundation, Святослав Kavetsky, Industrial Affairs Director in NIX, Pavlo Moroz, the Head of the Corporate Social Responsibility in MHP, Andrei Kasparuk, Deputy Chairman of the Management Board on Retail Banking at Укрсиб BNP Paribas Group, Укрсиб Bank BNP Paribas Group, and Elena Turevich, Head of External Affairs Department, SPP Development Ukraine. Please take your places, take your seats. Are you sitting under portraits? Okay, everyone is there. Okay, there will be some rotation. Yes, sustainable development is definitely impossible without partnership, because sustainable development is always about a complex system. It's about economics and social work and trust and institutional capacity, and not a single sector. There is no such a sector that could control all these areas, and it is only partnership that can allow us to create a special space where the capabilities and opportunities appear. And I believe this our capacity to partner has actually become the basis of this famous Ukrainian um, unbreakability, that the whole world has been surprised with for the fourth year in a row. Resilience, yes. And I think that this is our superpower. And here we can see representatives of the companies that have shown on their own how the partnerships are born, that give birth to changes, to development, to resilience, and let us trust that we have strong future. And I would like to start with a very practical task, such a blitz question. So if you now look at 2025 and think of one example of partnership that, in your opinion, was perhaps the most successful or the most emotional for you in this year. Svetoslav, if you could start, please. You know, good afternoon to everyone. Thanks for the question. It's difficult to choose one point, but perhaps the most emotional was cooperation and work with organizations recipients of our humanitarian help. So this is the creation of the veteran portal with the Lviv City Council, and having camps, running camps for children with the training courses on some jobs and disciplines, and encourage them to study technical specialisms, which is important for the business and useful for the country in general. But it's difficult to find one thing, because everything we do with clients, with partners, is always a two-way road, and without bilateral cooperation, it never moves on. There can be a wonderful vendor or a wonderful connector, but if there is no this match to match, benefits, then it will not work. First of all, I want to echo on the words that at difficult times, Ukrainians are joining together, and I have a positive example of how we can not only, join, but also use innovations And I'm moving to a very, very short example of partnership. If colleagues don't know, since 2024, in 2024, Ukraine has taken the first place in the category of digital governance, digital participation in the index of digital governance run by UN. So we are the first ones in this category. We got 57 positions up. We are not just joining, we also use new technologies very well. We're adaptable, technological, we have the skills, knowledge to implement the innovations. And now I'm moving to a great example of partnership, the platform Asvita Dia, education Dia. This is a wonderful initiative of the digital transformation, Google and the Ministry of Digital Transformation. We've used the best technologies available in the world on training and education of the people who are looking for a new job. We've started 69 courses available in Ukrainian and English. And these are not just courses. You can also take a test, and then the system mixes up the professional soft skills and hard skills test for the chosen specialty job. And then it can even simulate some specific job for people to understand how it goes. And then the person is certified, and they will then see all the openings available in their city for this job and work. Okay, that's a well-known project and a great one, by the way. Thank you. If we could use the second microphone. Okay. Well, does it work? No, the microphone. Okay, give me this microphone. I will start perhaps with saying that partnership is impossible without people. And I want to remember how several years ago we were started getting a lot of requests to the Department of Social Corporate Responsibility and MHP. We started getting requests from our employees in different regions saying they want to be helping their colleagues who have joined the army, and they were asking sometimes for financial support, sometimes for support with logistics, and transport, to be sending support help to their colleagues or their relatives who are now protecting Ukraine at the front line. And then when we started additional business processes in the company, and we need to say since 2020 is that in 2023, 23 million hryvnias were donated, 67 in 2024, and in 2025 over 100 million hryvnias. The total of over 170 million hryvnias were fundraised for our colleagues or their relatives and friends who are now at the front line at the Ukrainian military forces. And this shows the unity in our desire to help, and a case that I've mentioned this as was about unity of the team of Vinnytsia poultry factory. One of our colleagues returned, and he was wounded and he has lost his limbs, and it was clear that it will be an expensive surgery, and our colleagues helped us, and Konstantin Glavsky, our veteran, got this surgery in the US, and there were fundraising events at the in MHP, at his business, and in his city, and and we were and of course MHP provided some funds, and his dream was to
українців,
be able
сила
to
єдності
walk his
заради
kids to
важливого
school on the
пересування.
1st of September.
Я
And this
думаю, що
happened. And
подібна
he's
історія,
getting back
подібне
to work
партнерство
now.
саме
And
якраз
this is the
іде
story
і
about the
доводить, що
partnership, about
наша
joint
нація, наш
effort.
народ, він є таким
The
непокорним і
story that
незламним.
shows that our people are really resilient. Thank you. Thank you for this really emotional story. Andrei, for me, an example of partnership in 2025 was perhaps the initiative of the Business and Ministry of Digital Transformation on the educational grant program for veterans and members of their families. The main donor of which had to be USAID, who stopped financing, and there were doubts whether the program will be implementable. But thanks to the partners and the Office of the Business, and of course the Bank, Mastercard, and Aurora Supermarket Network, and other partners, collected the fund of 20 million hryvnias and have run this program, and all the four winners got their grant support. So this was, we were able to run it basically the power with the force of Ukrainian businesses even without USAID. So that's perhaps an example. Thank you. That's cool. That's a very important one, big one. Olena, thanks. First of all, I would like to thank the Ukrainian military forces for having the possibility to be here today. Secondly, to thank all the organization team, Tatiana, Alina, and the whole team of GC and UNGC. Pardon. I remember last year, yes, but it's still such a gives some kind of pre-Christmas mood. Thank you. This is even aside of this award itself, the event is cool, and the award is just even greater. I can't really find just one project, because in general, I will say more in general, what I find huge is that since the start of the war, since 2014, we've been continuing our businesses, continuing creating projects, continuing coming up with new ideas and of partnership tools. And I always, what makes me emotional is that our international partners are not afraid to show these risks with us. They are coming into this project with us. It's not like, it's not about aid and help. It's business, it's human resources, it's real resources. And this possibility of sharing risks, this is what I find the most emotional. Thank you. Thank you. And partnership for me is first of all about creation of such a win-win construct. When you create a field where there appear opportunities that give benefits not only to the businesses but at different levels uh, up to the state. And I wanted to ask such a question. How do you think IT area that is very strong now, what kind of partnerships with what kind of players should it go into now to help the country to solve its painful questions? Because the effect of IT sector today is very strong.
Дякую.
Thank
Дивіться,
you. Well,
напевно,
perhaps
IT галузь сьогодні це найбільш
what is
експортозорна
IT sector
галузь.
today? Is that
Друга за
the
експортом
biggest
займа, малий сектор,
export
м'який і
service,
експортний
export
виробництво.
the second on
Це
the
дуже
export
говорить
profits and
про
at all
її
in
важливість на
Ukraine,
сьогоднішній день.
which
Тим не
shows
менше, це
the
якби
importance
вже
of
з
it
початку
this
повномасштабного вторгнення
today.
галузь
But
виросла
unfortunately,
дуже і, на жаль,
since the
більш
full-scale
уражені
invasion, it
війною
hasn't been
просіли
increasing
в цьому
much.
розрізі, так?
And we
Якщо
can
говорити про
see that
партнерства, то
other sectors have been
наша
growing
галузь
it.
IT-галузь це насправді партнерство
But
з
if
усіма
we look
стейкхолдерами.
at
Ми
specifically
намагаємося бути партнерами з державою і
our
спільно
sector is in partnerships.
працювати над
This is
новими
partnership with
законодавчими
all the
ініціативами,
stakeholders. We are working with the
і
government and
забезпечувати
new
розширення
uh,
такої бази, забезпечувати таке
governmental and
навантаження,
legal
і допомагати
initiatives
стимулювати
by
саме розвиток
looking for
бізнесу, тому що
new
фіскалізація не несе ніяких
tax, but
цінностей,
it's
так?
also like
Ми
fiscalization itself
в
is not a
партнерстві, в
value.
партнерських засадах
So when
власне
our
це
partnership, we
вирішувати.
are looking
Ми
for
активно
being
працюємо
useful,
з
being active
освітніми
participants in
науково-базовими
partnerships
технічними
with
розробами,
educational institutions because we understand that talented youth is our future, and we have a chain of partnerships as a company and as also auditor and associations we are members of. So are cooperating with educational institutions for to help the graduates, and also its partnership with non-profitable organizations. These are the values these companies are propagating. So yeah, there is like the theory of broken windows. Yeah, we are trying to improve the ecosystem, improve the access of employees for businesses, and then business has more opportunities for development. But it's also helping local communities to be growing, to be changing the locations where people are living for the better. So this is a very, big field sector, and also most of Ukrainian IT service or consultation businesses that are working with, let's say, bigger giants, Amazon, Microsoft, Bosch, Siemens, Audi, Volvo, Bosch. I know these are all the companies that Ukrainian IT is cooperating, and this is also attracting attention of the people and of workers in this company to the situation in the country, to both sides. On one hand, of us being in this full-scale war, but also to our very talented human capital that is our huge value now. So state, business, state, international partners, and you actually have a running event where you have a different participants from all of the sectors. What is for you is fine that this partnership will be successful? When you start a partnership, what is your sign that will be efficient, and what is your criteria afterwards to say that yes, it is efficient? That's a great question. Let me start by saying that the first filter is values. And we're focused at values, first of all. If business and us, have similar values, that's because we have Google, Visa, MasterCard, and Ukrainian businesses. And also innovations, like, for example, we're working with the PAM, who are working with STEM education in remote schools. So we check the values, yeah, and then if the values are the same, we can keep moving further. We can look at the tactics, the strategy, cooperation. The second, long-term vision, it has to match. And here there is, when we translate added value, that's very important to remember that added value is not about added finance. It's not only finance, So what can you add to this partnership, and what can you get? And for me, partnership is always ability to exchange with what you know or do the best with those who are around you, with businesses, for example, like in marketing, strategic planning, finances, profitability. We, as representatives of public sectors, are cooperating with the community. We know how to organize high quality social changes. The state can support at the legislative level, provide the tools. And that's when the triangular state or governance, business, public organizations, and community in general, reach the balance and can exchange what they do the best. So it's what you're ready to input in the partnership, what you're ready to share, and what you can take from there as an expertise, experience, technology. And I would even say that in our cooperation with businesses, we understood that we have to improve our project management practices to meet the level of hard technology companies such as Google and EPAM, and we've started a new program on the improvement of the project management with the Project Management Institute and their trainers to correspond, be compliant with this level, high level. Thank you. You have just talked on some very important topics that I want to continue and want to ask Andrei. Bank sector today makes a huge input in the number of partnership projects, and if we look at the partnership in general, the final purpose is to make people's lives better. Yeah, a lot is being done by businesses, but like when you as a banker look at the future partnership, how can we find a partner to make it not the story of door of fundraising of charity, but to be its partnership, but still with the values close to you? How do you select partners? Well, banks, let's say financial institutions, treat partnership just as any other organizations. Of course, neither sector nor government, nor state, nor business, nor NGOs, nor bank can do something on their own today, because joint expertise provides bigger global effect. And if we are compliant with the values of sustainable development, it's even better. How do we choose partners? Yeah, values talked a lot today. For us, it's first of all being transparent, zero corruption tolerance, and honesty, integrity and honesty. Like if we talk about sustainable development, we don't expect the company or partner to, to be compliant with some criteria 100%. It's not about checklist, it's about their readiness to change and to move towards these goals. And it's also readiness to change, not to declare the changes, but to implement them, And in a perfect, ideally, the joint product would have some KPIs, measurable KPIs to measure the effect. And additionally, I can say that efficient partnership, if we talk about sustainability for bank sector, it's not about financing. It's not only about providing a loan or something like that. It's about going with the partner through the transformation on their way to the sustainable development. So it's not some kind of donation, it's a motivational program. For example, if we talk joint values of energy independence and energy efficiency, a lot of banks are now providing loans at beneficial interest, giving discount if it's related to some equipment to provide energy independence, for example, or energy efficiency. So this is kind of joint effort, not only of financial companies and international donors, but also the effort of every specific client gets the value for everyone. The bank gets a responsible lender, international companies are reaching their global targets within this sustainability development plans, and the clients are moving towards the sustainable development, getting the advantages with it. And Alena, here, if we come back to the partnership in the area of renewable energy sources, I believe you're working a lot with international partners. How much has their vision of us, their expectations from us have changed in the partnership? Actually, have there been any changes? Thank you. Thank you for the countries. There are changes. International investors have stopped coming for ideas. That's a now structured, prepared project ready for implementation. For Ukrainian and when speaking, working with Ukrainian companies, they're expecting the experience relevant for project implementation. They're expecting companies to have in-house staff for the project. They're expecting the company to own or to co-own the project. And of course, they need the company to be able to answer all questions, any arising questions from the governance to building, planning, design, building, and actual maintenance at every stage. So this means that successful partnership with foreign partners today is co-development and or equity partnership. Then in this case, this will not stop at one project, it will grow into a portfolio of projects. I've been listening to you and I thought of such a term of such a corporate citizenship. It's not social responsibility, because social responsibility is what the company can give to the community, and corporate citizenship is who the company is for the community. That's kind of a different philosophical approach of a concept. And when I am thinking at partners, you have a lot of partnerships, veteran families, education. What is common for all? There are many, many of them, but what is common for all of them? What is the approach or concept at the basis of everything you are doing? I guess I've been talking about that during the first, when answering first question as well. What's at the basis of everything is people. People. We have presented the sustainable development project for MHP, and there are two parts. The first one is technological, and there is one structural department responsible, and the other one is corporate social responsibility. And taking into account that we have 71 strategic purposes for the next strategy period, their company needs partnerships, not only cross-functional interactions of the departments like HR, healthcare, and workplace protection, ecology department, communication department, PR department, that definitely will be taking part in the implementation of this sustainable development strategy. But also the partnership that we have already formed, that Oksana has mentioned, but that we will keep developing to make the strategy work. Because in this strategy, the key point is not the MHP company, but people working for the MHP company, their families, the employees who have joined the Ukrainian military force, and it's over 2,950 people in the company today. It's over 950 veterans. We're saying now we have 211 families who unfortunately have lost member of the family who used to work for our company during the war. Another 150 are missing. And these are people, not only people working for us, people living within the community. And here the business is a part of a joint project. You know, we've been talking about the energy projects. I'm thinking about the case of 2025 during the School of Community Leaders with Mariupol University. The blackout conditions, part of the city stays without water. Due to geographical peculiarities, there is such a situation that when electricity is off, part of the city will not have water. So the cohort of active citizens, actually social society, they came to Mariupol, in Mariupol, came to us and said, let's prepare a project to set a generator unit to pump the water. We have implemented it, and now Kagarlik at least can, yeah, what's happening now is happening, but it's at least less, it affects them less. Also important story, like we've been talking about banking sector. In general, we are planning to diversify partnership. In particular, we've been talking about green bonds. And there are also state bonds, municipal bonds. For example, Kagarli, coming back to there, if there is good lending, they could emit municipal bonds to resolve their, ongoing problems. And that's internet NGOs, international partners, businesses, they're urgent issues. I'm sorry. It's about their input in knowledge, technologies, money. They have to be important, but they have also to be synchronized in their goals and to be together. Because if we everyone moves in their direction, following their own KPIs, we will not reach the result. That's why the sustainable MHP sustainable development strategy is not about MHP in 5 or 10 years. It's about Ukraine in general. It's about the style of Ukrainian businesses where social responsibility becomes a part of the business DNA. Who will need the economic results if there are no social results, if there are no specific, if there are no people, Okay, thank you. And you know what I would like to move to? We're talking about external changes, and partnership changes the company internally. So maybe Svetozar, maybe you could think of some but valuable transformations that happened maybe to your employees with as a result of some partnerships, change of maybe mind of approach. What's been changed now?
Давайте так.
Let's go
В
like that.
галузі
In our
інвестиції
area,
це надзвичайно важливо
partnership
для
is
бізнесу
extremely
промислового, так?
important
Мовно
for
кажучи,
business.
відчутний відсоток ревеню
No, let's go like that. A
компаній
significant part
походить
of the
з партнерства.
company
Партнерства з
revenue is
Microsoft,
related
з
to partnership.
AWS,
Partnership with
іншими
Microsoft, with
клауд-самими, іншими
AW, with
постачальниками. Це
other
речі, які,
managed
умовно кажучи, є
providers.
консультантами з
So
впровадження
where we are,
корпоративних
for
технологій
example, we are consulting
або
on
їхніх
integration
клаудових рішень і так
or
далі, так? Але
implementation of
відверто
their
ми
technologies or their cloud
часто
solutions.
якби є десь посередині між кінцевим
But we are
споживачем
not
їхніх послуг
just
і їхніми
mediators in
операторами. Ми
between
ще
the end
й
consumer and
такою
them as
силою
providers.
занурюємося в їхню корпоративну
We are
структуру, в
also
їхні цінності,
moving
їхні правила.
into
Наприклад,
their,
маркетологи спільно
corporate
з
structure, their
з
values,
AWS реалізовували в Україні
their
навчальну програму для
rules.
дітей Get
So
IT,
long
так,
with
понад
yes,
2000 дітей.
we were implementing
Завдання
Get IT
було
program over 2,000
спонукати
children. We
дітей з віддалених
graduated the
регіонів отримати
program,
representative,
and the main
які не мають
idea
доступу
was to
до
help the
класної
children
комп'ютерної
from
праці,
remote areas
до
who don't have
викладачів
access to computer
вузького
class
профілю,
or
та не один викладач на всю школу,
to
до
to
дисциплін, які
high
пов'язані з
quality
технологіями.
educators to get them
Тому
attracted to
це,
the
безперечно,
technology based
міняє наших
curriculum.
працівників, тому
So this
що
is definitely changing
загалом наш
our
принцип
employees
роботи в
because in
партнерствах і в
general the
корпоративній соціальній відповідальності є в тому,
approach
що
to
всі
work
особи
in the
реалізовуються спільно з
partnership
іншими
and the
з
corporate
колегами. Тобто ми залучаємо завжди
responsibilities
інших людей
that we are
для
implementing everything
менторства, для
jointly with
викладання.
our partners. We are
Компанія завжди
involving our
подвоює чи кратним
involving our
збільшує
employees
донати,
for
які наші
mentorship,
колеги збирають не
for
користуючись
training
ініціативою, просто
also.
з
We are
початку війни це
duplicating all the
понад $1,5 мільйона
funds
зібрали
raised by the
наші колеги.
company for
Разом з
whichever
компанією ми там
initiative
вже
over
розмінили, відмінили
1.5
там
billion were
чи допомогли
collected
опоритися
and
ворогу на
we've
понад $6 мільйонів еквіваленту. Так?
jointly
Тобто ми не
for
настільки
$6
велика
million
компанія, але ми
we have
готуємося до
helped
результату.
the
Ми
state
розуміємо, що
to
інколи не так
fight the
суто те, що
enemy.
важливо, як ми
We are
працюємо,
not
так скільки
that
воно дає.
big, but we are
Тому
proud of
так це міняє,
this
це
result,
занурює
and
тебе
we
в
see
світ
that it's not only
твоїх
about the amounts, but about the
партнерів, які
informational
інколи є набагато
effect.
більшими
And
і
yes,
дуже
it's changing. It
високопоставленими
gets you
щодо
inside the
підтримки
world
майбутнього
of
України,
your
так само будувати ці люди
partners,
з
and that
новою
then
експертизою,
helps
з інакшим
Ukraine. These
іншим
people with
баченням. І
different
знову ж таки,
expertise,
це сприяє
different
тому, що
vision,
країна має талановитий
help
капітал.
the also help the country to have a talented human capital. Yes, yeah, and that's what the changes that I was speaking about, Victor. You have huge experience in the organization of the partnerships at the both Ukraine-wide level and international level. So these changes that are happening to our people, these transformations that are happening, have they changed the attitude to the partners? Because Alena told us about business approach, the change on expectations. But in the uh, public sector, are there the changes? That's rather deep question. And Rhoda? positive because Ukraine now stops being just a technology recipient. It's becoming a donor of the technologies. And what I see that first of all, we have the most innovational war that has ever happened in the world that now against Ukraine. And Ukraine is also developing a huge number of new technologies, including humanitarian technologies and HPSS technologies for the support of people in need and vulnerable categories, IDPs and others. I don't know if you know about the shelter platform Prehistok. That's basically related to IDPs. The platform where IDPs can find a building, an accommodation, and the state pays directly. Then a lot of and that's something new in the world of humanitarian response. Humanitarian demining, collection of the data, huge data management systems. These are the technologies, for example, in the area of demining that are developed by Ukraine. In my area, humanitarian area, there are also different initiatives that Ukraine will probably export to the other countries. I'm sure that in the next 5 years, we will have at least 10 countries where we could export the DIA concept, the concept of digital services provision that will be duplicated because it's a part of Ukrainian digital diplomacy when we become the expert. And it's also about cooperation. And for us, we have to be compliant with the standards of the world leaders. You know, we are cooperating with Visa, Mastercard, Google. We have to be compliant with their high standards. But on the other hand, can also now share our technology. And I want to say here about our initiative CDTO campus, the digital transformation leaders training, which is the representatives, the best representatives of the companies that are providing digital transformation, state, public, and we have created such an educational product that we hope is early in 2026 we will be able to export for educational institutions of other countries. Yeah, and we have the management board of the fund who are taking active part in all the foundation activities, and business representatives and people who work in business know it better. Yeah, when you don't have one manager, you have 9 managers. You know, the board, and they all are telling me what to do in different areas. Yes, but usually it helps. It helps to be maximally adaptable in the conditions you are working in. And this is just a strategic push in the right direction. And of course, such people such as Mr. Taylor, Michael Michurkiv, Mirinda Heller, Michael, who usually talks about reports on CNN from Ukraine. These are the people who are inspiring us to make correct strategic decisions. Let me share one. You know, when the full-scale invasion started, we were thinking, what can we do? The country had huge needs, humanitarian help, humanitarian response, IDPs, relocation, at least some digital transformation, the support of digital infrastructure. And one of the board members said, when the world is changing constantly, just do what you can do the best, you know, and we followed this principle, and we are now creating the product that the whole country can be proud of and that we can be exporting. Thank you. That's a great logo. And Elena, I know that you also have educational direction of cooperation. As far as I know, you're preparing the youth to work in the energy sector. Why have you chosen this sector and how do you test the success? Yes, yeah, we have that. Everybody knows that, it's not a secret that the lack of human resources is one of the key issues in Ukraine. We all know all the reasons why we've started working in this area because we were lucky. We were lucky to get great partners in this area. That's a totally win-win story. When everything started with cooperation with the business, we were a UPC contractor for Swiss Connect Fund, and they have a wonderful product, educational app, EdUp, and EDUP. And they are working with vocational schools all over Ukraine in 21 regions. Over 29 vocational institutions they had at the time when we started our cooperation, and a lot of them needed some roof solar station and reserve electricity supply to ensure their operational work. We were equipping them, we were equipping the shelters for this educational institutions, that's how it all started. But because we are looking very deeply into every partnership, we always do our best to learn more about the partner. And once we were having a conversation, then they shared that they have such a program such as taking students to the businesses that they're working with, just to be showing the students the businesses, and then maybe, future professionals will know where they want to go to work. And we were like, why don't we expand it? Why don't we scale it and turn it into a project on raising the professionals for ourselves, not just to give them a tour? Because, we in SPP development in Ukraine, very, very kind of seriously taking it. For example, we have a solar farm that is working, but we don't want just to take a tour. No, but let's say they had this out of this 29 institutions, they had nine where were there were people working with electricity, electricians, and even um, the technician who is responsible for implementation of the green energy systems, And we're like, let's take your students, let's do the tours, and we started with educational tours when our specialists, our engineers, our electricians were giving tours to the students. Kharkiv, Zaporizhia, our power engineers, they were coming and visiting us. Yeah, and right now we're a little bit waiting for a stream because there's a lot of shelling of energy infrastructure, but we are moving forward, and um, based on these locations, let's say our businesses, we will start deeper work, educational work. 3 students from Kharkiv have also asked to come to us for practice. When I'm listening about this, partnership in education, I'm also thinking about culture, of course. And there's a saying I've heard recently. It's very good that when Western partners are coming and are helping us, but what is even more important when Ukrainian identity is being enhanced and spread with Ukrainian money. And I believe it's true. It's this works together. That's about trust. It's about somehow changing our internal color. You know, and I want to ask Andrea. I've been learning about one survey, and they paid attention to the fact that serious Ukrainian businesses today are looking at long-term projects as for the culture. as for the education. So could I ask you how interesting are long-term projects for you when you're choosing like investment as for where it comes for development of the culture and education, and do you have experience with them? Well, if we want to talk about some significant changes and um, future effect, any project for significant changes and transformation requires some time. You cannot change in one day. Okay, you can change when the full-scale invasion started. A lot of things changed. A lot of people started speaking Ukrainian, but okay, that was like shock situation. But in usual like long-term change, good significant changes are taking time. Like if we're talking about the company, okay, yeah, we have our habits, we have to change them. We need some positive motivation. That's for people. If we talk about businesses, this kind of changes require not only time, but also money and also time. How this, and we are totally okay. We're picking it as normal that some of the changes are taking a lot of time. Have we got such examples? Yes, we have some directions of corporate responsibility with which we've been working for a long time, the development of the Ukrainian economics. One of such directions with which we've been working for 11 works, we are supporting the Ukrainian IT community development. We are members of IT association. We are supporting the events. We are investing in SME development. This project is 11 years old. It's not a business project for us. It's other social responsibility project because in the future we see that IT sector will, replace the more traditional ones. Uh, Somewhere to be near with agricultural and instead of heavy metallurgy if we talk about experts. So it's what has to make Ukraine more competitive at the world market, at the world stage. As for the other project, for 7 years, we've been now supporting the Women and Business project. We are enhancing and scaling this project. So for 7 years, we can now, in 7 years, we can see that there has been some transformation in this. Yeah, there is also a negative effect of the war that women are undertaking, are forced to take the responsibility for family businesses, and a lot of people are talking about that now. But a lot of women now also know that they can get support not only finance but from experts and female entrepreneurship. Female businesses are now looked at much more favorably. There is transformation in the community. People are starting to treat it very differently, more positively. So, looking for long-term projects, big projects, our attitude is very positive because real changes, especially social mindset changes, are taking time. And speaking about another change, the change that the partnership brings. I wanted to talk about trust. From the practice of Scandinavian countries, we know how important the trust is for the community, and trust is partnership is not impossible. Is not possible without trust. How do you build trust with the partners? How important it is, and what are the changes between you, communities, and other members, participants, stakeholders of your partnerships? Thank you for the question. Again, it's a deep question, as Victor said before, but another question. You're asking deep questions today, and one story that comes to my mind when my Majiti, we have to leave charity fund came to us. These are women, Oksana Berkun and Yulia Silutina. These are women who have lost their husbands at war. They came to us and we started supporting them. We said people are coming to us. They are, asking us for help, because this is peer-to-peer level at which people coming for help, and they are suggesting, some solutions. For example, just some classes for children, teaching the women to create their CVs, to pass job interviews, to be um, more confident in themselves. They have reskilling projects. Then they said that they got support from the Western Europe Fund. We want to thank them for that. And with that, the activity of we have to leave Miami charity fund could be scaled, and they moved to the east of the country, to eastern areas of the country, where they can be scaling this activity. Uh, they have requests from Volyn. They don't see the borders. They know with scalability they can provide the sustainability and results of such projects. Of such a project, and so this means that trust starts with communication. When you're looking into the person's eyes, when you fear their mood, you fear if they're nervous.
Спільно об'єднуючись в партнерстві, ми ці рішення і можемо знаходити. Ми знаходимо рішення сьогодні, ми думаємо про майбутнє, тому що через такі партнерства дійсно, як кажуть колеги, сьогодні має формуватися довгі, це правда, довгі.
We are thinking about the future.
Проекти на роки. Тому що, повертаючись до благодійного фонду «Маємо жити»,
because like this is the only way to have the project for many years. And if we come back to we have to live fund, they've given, help to this hundreds of women who have survived through, who are living through a terrible loss, but see the hope for future. And I believe that this is one of examples of successful partnership with sustainable long-term solution. I want to thank our today's participants for the depth. I'm really inspired by these people, by their stories, because it shows also the partnership is not only about, agreement, cooperation. It's about the mindset. It's about transformation of the approach to life. And this is what is at the base of our superpower today. This is what gives us hope today, that after the war, we can rebuild a strong, innovational, powerful country. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, we've discussed the importance of the partnership and trust and building partnership, and our next part is related to the history of our contest, of our awards, and of course when to the cases. And I want to tell a little bit about this year's jury. This year, of Miguel Trevaria, the representative of South Pole, Derva Ferreira Rubio, the representative of the Global Union of the Future International Forum, and the member of consultative unit of the American Chamber of Commerce in Argentina, Antonio Wotler, the general director of the Global UN Compact Network Ukraine, Richard Torel, the member of the Synergy Advisory Council for Harvard School of Continuous Education and head consultant of the Global Compact in USA, the head of All-Still Generous Area of the London School of Economics and Political Science, MJ Sirvan, MBE, the head of LC Generate. And the members of the board have prepared the welcome video to the award participants and winners.
Dear participants, my name is Vanessa Hans and I'm pleased to once more be part of the judges for the Partnership for Sustainability Award.
Greetings from Switzerland. I'm Antonio Hautle, the Executive Director of the Swiss Global Compact
Колеги, я прошу
Network.
зробити, мабуть, трошечки швидше. Думаю, це не оригінальна версія.
I'm Richard Pearl.
One second, there was some technical issue with the video.
Нам потрібна буквально 1 хвилина.
We just need another second.
А поки відбувається перевантаження,
And while we are reloading, I want to tell that in a couple of meetings, we will show you the identity of the award that was developed jointly with Kyiv Academy of Media Art. The identity was of this year, and they will tell a little bit more of what each color and each shape that you see on the award mean.
Dear participants, my name is Vanessa Hans and I'm pleased to once more be part of the judges for the Partnership for Sustainability Award.
Greetings from Switzerland. I'm Antonio Hautle, the Executive Director of the Swiss Global Compact Network.
Hi, I'm Richard Pearl, the Senior Advisor and former Board Chair of the United Nations Global Compacts Network USA.
I am Delia Ferreira Rubio. I am a member of the Global Future Council on Good Governance at the World Economic Forum.
Hi, I'm LJ Silverman. I'm head of LSE Generate here in London, which is the entrepreneurship and the innovation hub at the London School of Economics.
Hello, my name is Dr. Paroma Bhattacharya and I'm the head of social innovation at LSE Generate, which is the entrepreneurship center of the London School of Economics and Political Science.
My name is Miguel Chavarria. I'm based in Mexico City, and I currently serve as head of advisory for the Latin America and Caribbean region at Sao Paulo.
I'm really proud of you. When I see what you all have done in your projects I went through.
I would like to congratulate the UN Global Compact Network Ukraine for yet again a successful campaign.
It has been an honor to participate as a jury in this contest.
I'm proud to have served as a juror in these prestigious Partnership for Sustainability Awards. It attracted an impressive number and a very high caliber of entrants.
I would like to sincerely thank the UN Global Compact Network Ukraine team for inviting me to join the jury for the 2025 Partnership for Sustainability Award.
I was a jury member for the Partnership for Sustainability Awards 2025 and it was a wonderful experience.
I would say that the work was really hard because all the projects that were presented as candidates were very good ones and very strong.
I'd like to personally thank all of the companies who submitted an entry. Their work to advance sustainability through these programs and partnerships is critically important to advancing the principles of the United Nations Global Compact.
Your initiatives truly demonstrate the power of partnership, bringing together business, government, civil society, and academia to advance the Sustainable Development Goals.
In this fragmented world, it is very important and crucial to think of the critical role of partnerships to foster sustainability.
Continue to work together and be assured that we try to support you where we can, also if it is in very limited measure.
You have demonstrated clear leadership in driving positive change in our world.
I wrote down some notes about what really impressed me, but what impressed me the most was not just the quality of the ideas, but the way sustainability was approached.
Thank you again that you stand for sustainability, that you work together in partnerships.
And I hope that today we can celebrate those successes.
And also, congratulations to the Ukrainian network for leading these great awards. Thank you.
Вдячні нашим членам журі. Знаємо, що робота в них була
We
дуже
are very
непростою.
thankful to our members of the jury. We know that it wasn't simple. We got so many great examples of cooperation here. And before we move on to the awards and today's special surprise, I want to invite representatives of Kiev Academy Media Arts, Anna Kananenko, its operation director, and was of course the graduator of Kiev Design Advanced course and the author of this awarded identity. Welcome, welcome everyone. I'm very glad to be in this room today with all of you. It's a great pleasure, and I'm really glad this year we've become partners of this event and this award and the main principle of education. And we cannot hear the speakers, unfortunately. And I would like to pass the word to Vladislav, the author of Identity. I would say that our students presented 4 different concepts and we liked most of them. And the best idea was Vladislav's idea that he will now describe. Welcome everyone. Unfortunately, we cannot hear Vladislav. But it says partnership, different parts, different views, single solution. I'll be just translating the slides. Unfortunately, we only see the slides but don't hear the speaker. But it says that there is color. The colors were chosen in the following way: deep blue, purple pink, and purple blue. Idea of the word shape. And the word is transparent, and the idea of transparency is going through the whole identity. And there is a little brochure on Partnership for Sustainability award created in the same style. So thanks for your attention. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to present this identity to you. And we wish everyone a great evening and thank you for the work you're doing. Sincere thankfulness to our partners. We are different, but we are equal, and in our partnership we can do more. And now I would like to invite our special guest, Ivan Kalenka, and he is a military man. He serves for the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Chief Sergeant, and the honored artist of Ukraine, composer, and he is an inventor of electronic bandura, pardon.
Дякуємо.
Thank you.
Впевнена, що усі наші
I am
гості і
sure that all our guests and listeners will agree that it was legendary. So let's a little bit maybe wait before we move on to the awards, and want to say a couple more words about Partnership for the Sustainability Award. In 2025, we got more than over 150 applications, and the participants were the companies and organizations from 22 countries of the world. That's required. It was assessed by 7 independent members of the jury. And we want to emphasize the partnership in 7 main categories. And these were environment and climate action, social change and inclusion, good governance, sustainable economy and growth, digital transformation and innovations, veterans empowerment, Ukraine recovery, and also partnership cases. So how this will be happening? When we'll be announcing the award winner, we will ask them to come to the stage, get the award, and to stay on stage for the joint photo in the category. And the winner will be, we can say, a welcome word up to 10 minutes, not longer than 2 minutes. But please stay. Then we will make a photo of the whole category, so please stay. And I want to invite to the stage Tatiana Stakharuk, the UN Global Compact Ukraine Chair for the Regional Network, and also Olena Florak, editor-in-chief for Facta SV, ambassador for the environmental stream UN Global Compact Network Ukraine, to award the winners and nominees in the environmental and climate action category. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will not take a lot of your time because I see that we are getting closer to the most important point and everyone is worried. And I want to say that my category is environmental and climate action. There were projects on energy efficiency. There were a lot of projects: renewable, decarbonization, environment support, climate, water resource management, biodiversity support. And I'll just say a couple of words. I was getting ready today, and we're working with UN, cooperating for a long time, and I'm a very green person, as my family says. I have a very green soul. I'm, supporting everything that helps nature to live and helps people to live. And I was thinking today how important it is to be the innovator, how important it is to be ready to take up for something new, to catch up the mainstream, and how the whole world is living now, And I thought that not so long ago there we could kind of see the number of companies who are doing that very easily. There were not so many. You could count them on one fingers. Today, who has alternative energetics, has electricity, has warmth, has alternative sources of energy, saves us from in surgery rooms, save people, from hunger and cold. Today, everyone is working at the AI. Someone is thinking, someone is just considering, but many companies are working. So those who were ahead in sustainable development 10, 15 years ago already have a lot of projects on energy efficiency, projects that are already protecting and saving our environment. And these are the companies that will be awarded today. And the first finalist company the batteries, the reprocessing. So the idea of the project is starting as eco-vehicle that would be collecting the reused batteries all over the city, make it easier to collect them for further reprocessing and recycling. The next one, AC Grow Ukraine, Saved Earth, reprocesses of corporate banners and electric devices to create lighters and additional material, supplementary material for the military forces of Ukraine. Eleni Hiji Professional, SLU. We are greeting our participants online. This is the project on collection of the waste and renewal of the forests and renewal of the ecosystem of Turiak system with the cleaning and reforesting and with Dana company. Application Marine for ocean researches. We want to greet the finalists online. The next company is called Atmosphere in the project Clean Energy for Clean Water, Sustainable Water Production with Hybrid Energy Systems and provision of resilient water provision, the water supply in pre-frontline areas. Switzerland based foundation and their project on energy master plans for Mykolaiv and Kharkiv, energy master plans for the cities aimed at aiming the investment for the development of sustainable and resilient system. We want to thank our representatives from our partners from Switzerland for such support of the Ukraine. Video. I know those ones. Hybrid photoelectric station as an alternative source of electric energy. That's an installation of hybrid solar power plant station. The next company, EcoFactor, the product of energetically independent hubs, implementation of solar generation, solar more from Switzerland, global impact cornices, and the project on scaling of circular recycling of vehicle plastics for the recycled vehicles. And also the project assigned to the hospitals. And this is a setup of the solar systems in the hospitals to provide alternative electricity supply. Turkish company next, Kalyon Energy. And we want to welcome our participants from Turkey online. This is a project about connecting the solar energy generation with the feeding and crossing or herding of the ships. Energy efficiency company Kurtasneka and their project Kurtas Energy, installation of solar farm to implement alternative source of energy supply for the enterprise. The next project, solar station. On implementation of the solar station. So if you're going through Khrushchev, you can see the central universal store is in lights and all the windows are full of light. That's because they use solar energy. United Air Solution International, ABUA. The project on renewal and protection of tropical forests in the urban sector. Next company, Univest, and project Unicup 3D sunflower development and the start of the first polymer-free paper cups and packaging. And then the power of hope, SPP Development Ukraine. This is installation of solar station to ensure continuous provision of the energy for the hospital. Alena, you said you didn't have one project to share. We have this project. This is the win of the award winner or finalist now. Electricians from Star Frontier, France. The setup of hybrid electrosystems for continuous provision of electricity supply for public institutions. Orally Services PA, they have run an LCA survey that proves the proves the advantages of the Green Clean Protocol. So we want to ask all participants, all the finalists of the in the category for a common photo.
Тож наступна наша категорія це
And next category is social change and inclusion. And I'm glad to invite Yulia Kostetska, Vogue Ukraine publisher. Yeah, yesterday we were visiting your event. Today you're visiting our event. This is real partnership, Yulia. Good evening. Good evening. That's a huge honor for me to be with you here today and to announce the finalists and the winners in this category. This is a very important category. There were a lot of conversations, dialogues, talks about partnership today. These are the partnerships that are created with, open heart. And partnership is also about having your heart open, about giving, but serving when you're giving more and then you're receiving even more. So I will move directly to the finalists, and they are really heroes of today's evening, and my pleasure to call them MacPo, the table game social engine. If we could, this is creation of a table game social engine that in an interactive form would teach to the mechanics of social responsibility, volunteer life and responsibility. If you haven't played yet, you should try. Burda Media Ukraine, the project People Who Can Change Everything, who are changing everything. The project on running communication company on inclusion and gender equality with the participation of sports athletes, influencers, and media. Thank you, colleagues. BGV, the project Treasures of Crimea Return, running an exhibition that has ensured the return to Ukraine of 164 artifacts from Crimea. Medical Lab DIA, barrier-free case. This project is on implementation on barrier-free standards in the DILA medical rooms, providing barrier-free support and medical services for veterans and people with disabilities. EY in Ukraine, educational initiatives for children of the heroes, providing educational support, training, and volunteer programs for children of the warriors, deceased, and to help their support and development. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Privat Bank, service for video consultations in sign language from the experts of Privat Bank and all bank branches. This is the start of the service of video consultancy services in signed language for people with the hearing loss. Let's use a great bringing the project being proud of your cycle educational program on menstrual health and provision the girls of dignity kids to fight the stigmatization and lack of resources. Metalheads Against Bullying company from Norwegia. The ombudsman on the bullying counteraction in private sector. Creation of a private independent ombudsman service to fight bullying in private sector. That's impossible. That's fantastic. Then civil organization Відчуй, feel inclusive summers, feel this summer, and mom feels. Please. Daria, please. Organization of inclusive summer camps for children that provides support and Octava Capital, Octava Book Hub. Creation of book crossing areas in Kiev universities for exchange of the books and popularization of reading among students and educators. Porsche AG, Germany Art Therapy for Ukrainian Kids project, providing psychosocial support for children and families affected by the warfare through art therapy and regular art classes. Pravex Bank, the project, the Corporate Donor Day project, running a quarterly quarterly donor day for the blood collection in the bank office. Psychological Center Top Sense, the project of psychological supervision, the platform of professional support of psychologists that provides regular supervision, continuous education and improvement of the expertise with the support of Yegor Topolev. Taylor School, the project De facto Status War. This is an organization of art events and meetings that have joined the families of the missing, the artists and state representatives and NGOs. Kamu App Company, Finland. Kamu App Project, Social Effect, making helping easier, providing Ukrainian refugees in Finland and Norway with support through the digital application that unites them with the locals. Betkin Foundation, They with the King's team. These are football games with professional athletes for support and social adaptation of children affected by war. Greetings, greetings. ISIM Group, Almax textile industry from Turkey, a collective project, economical participation of women in the economy with the recycling of the textiles. When the textile leftovers from the factories are not wasted but recycled with the participation of the women-led organization businesses. And we are moving to winners. We have 3 award winners with very strong projects. The first winner is Raiffeisen Bank with the project CSR DSR. We are all different. Everyone's different, everyone's equal. Creation of inclusive program to provide barrier-free services within the bank to serve the communities. Good afternoon, dear sirs. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very glad to be here. We are very glad to be among the companies that are moving the sustainability ideas forward. We are very grateful, thankful to the jury for this award and for recognition of the huge effort of the bank's team in the direction of resilience and inclusivity. And this is very honorable for us. And we believe for us it's a sign that we are moving in the right direction and we shouldn't stop here. And the next winner, this next winner, Eco Theater, organization of drama events and education for children and adults affected by crisis. And the charity organization, Ukrainian Food Foundation, was the project of Ukrainian Food Foundation terminal creation of underground food terminal that unites Ukrainian businesses and organizations to provide the food support for people in need. Good afternoon, dear guests, dear team. I want to thank you for invitation. Thanks for noticing our project. And it's also done with the support of PepsiCo Ukraine and PepsiCo Foundation, where we have created the platform that allows to unite the social effort of the businesses. And we want to thank you for the award and promise that we will continue working in the direction. And we want to invite everyone for a common photo. Thanks to everyone. Let's move on to the next category. And I want to invite to the stage Nina Delani, Deputy Head of Mission of British Embassy in Kiev. We want to thank you so much for joining us. That's a huge honor for us. Good evening. My name is Nina.
Compact for several years now, and I'm so impressed by all the projects and initiatives present today who've demonstrated remarkable resilience and unwavering commitment to supporting communities, driving sustainable development, and fostering transparency and innovation. And I'm really honoured to announce the Sustainability Award this evening under the category of Good Governance. Good governance is critical not only for ensuring strong institutions that can deliver and reform during wartime, but also for shaping the Ukraine of tomorrow. A democratic, responsive and accountable state that delivers for all Ukrainians. And the UK is very proud to stand alongside Ukraine and its partners in this journey. Now we should get to the winners. So let's start with the finalists. Thank you. So first up is Akşansa Çimento Sanayi ve Ticaret from Turkey.
Це проєкт інтегрований річний звіт Акчанса за 2020.
That's a project on an integrated Akchansa report, the inclusive ESG report that provides equal access to the corporate information to all participants. My greetings to participants from Turkey.
And next up, we have BK Plus Europe from Cyprus.
That's a project on support of the governance and reforms of the state sector, development of tools and solutions for the increase of transparency and governance tools for Jordan. And we want to greet participants from Cyprus.
And then we have the Development and Investment Bank of Turkey.
And the project on provision of systematic gender analysis in the bank area of the Turkey, that's integration of gender approach in every stage of the bank projects to increase the participation of women in economics and management. I'm sure the partners are watching us online right now. Greetings to you. And the project is K-Star, the project on sustainable development of suppliers, the platform that helps the suppliers of KPR Group to implement KSG standards and improve their activity through individual development plans.
And next we have KPMG in Ukraine.
And the project Scientific Park for the National University Kyiv Aviational Institute. This is starting the scientific park that joins the science and business to improve the development of technological innovations, please.
And now we have the Lviv IT cluster.
And the project called UAA, the platform that joins international customers with trusted Ukrainian IT companies, providing them the opportunity to reach out to the global customers and opportunity. With the project ESG profile, that the creation of the first in Ukraine tool that will automatically assess ESG risks of a company and simplifies the business transition to the international sustainability standards. Seems like the good governance finally so busy with governance and weren't able to join us, but we want to greet them and congratulate them, and we will go to the winners. Tatiana, the word is yours.
And now we'll move to our winners. So the first winner is the international charitable organization East Europe Foundation.
За створення сучасного модульного дія-центру в Сновську, що забезпечує громаді доступний, безбар'єрний і енергонезалежний
The creation of energy independent and sustainable level center for obtainance of the state services, public services. We would like to thank for recognition of the project because it's really very important, and the project implemented with the program with the support of our Swiss partners and the Western Europe Fund and the system community. And it's important to say that it seems that this community, 20,000 people are near the borderline, but this center was created at the war time, and it gives the population the hope for better future and the desire to stay there, because when the center is working, it's growing, it's providing more services, it's energy independent. The region was significantly affected by blackouts, and then the center has become the resilient center, which it is. The community is very small. It's only 20 kilometers from the front line, but within the last year, at the time when the DS center was built, there have been almost 100 marriages taken there. And this is a great result. The partnership that gives such a desire of people to win and to live. And we want to thank for that.
Thank you so much. And our final winner is the company Nihi. NX.
Створення єдиного онлайн-порталу, що об'єднує ключові
The creation of unified online platform portal that gets all the services, unites all the services for veterans and their families. Thank you so much. If you want to tell.
Дякую. Так вийшло, що я і від Львівського IT-кластеру отримав нагороду, тому що я голова наглядової ради.
Thank you so much. I got the award from Lviv IT cluster and then this from an IX. So I guess I'll just give the word to my partner with whom we've implemented the project jointly, my colleague. Thank you. I want to thank for this award. Really, we were very happy to join the work on the joint service, United Service portal. The creation of it has helped the team to be able to help the veterans faster because this is the center that's provide legal help, psychological help, and they have a lot of different initiatives. And this platform really, it kind of moves away all the bureaucracy that sometimes, the state services have. And we also want to thank the Lviv Art Academy that has run wonderful researched all the needs of the veterans. So this is a joint effort and joint award. Okay, let's stay for a photo.
Дякуємо всім. Переходимо до наступного.
Thanks to everyone.
І ми переходимо до категорії
And
відновлення України.
we move on to the category of Ukraine recovery, and I want to invite Yulia Kirillova, Deputy Minister of Veterans Affairs of Ukraine.
Доброго вечора.
Good evening. I'm sincerely glad to be here today with you at this international award ceremony organized by the Global Compact Network Ukraine. And I would say this category is very important for us as for the state, for the country at the state of war, because this award, there were 22 projects from different countries of the world, from all points of the world. And that's a huge sign for us that the world stays with Ukraine, not only their words, but in their deeds. And it was very important for us to see that today Ukrainian and international and foreign companies are cooperating, working together, staying in Ukraine regardless of everything. And for us, as for the Ministry of Veteran Affairs of Ukraine, it's very important that in this common work, veterans stay at the center of attention, because who if not us, those working, at safe, peaceful areas, not peaceful, but safe areas, not at the front line. Who, if not us, are the people who have to be thankful, who have to create all the possible conditions for our veterans to return to the civil life. I want to thank to everyone who chooses partnership and the journey to the resilience. And let's go to the words. Aurora Network, the increase of the qualification of the emergency crisis reaction centers. Я скажу, справлюсь. Далі ми нічого не чуємо взагалі. Everlegal company, the large-scale research on questions of practical decision on the ownership without owners for IDP, to be provided to IDPs. So they created a database of the ownerless property and a project on its further provision to the IDPs. Global Clearance Solutions Switzerland, the projects of Provincial Explorer Evidence and Reporting Regional Program on awareness raising on explosion threats. Thank you so much. Thanks for enhancing the capacity of the community to react to the threats and provide the first help. Very topical for today, project for today. Ignitis Group Litva, the energy of resilience, humanitarian support of energetic infrastructure of Ukraine by Ignitis Group. Thanks to our partners from Lithuania for support of Ukraine by the equipment for emergency renewal of energetic infrastructure of the country. Company Integritas. In 2026, they'll be renamed to Impact Law. That's the project on improved access to the legislation and jurisdiction, provision of free legal helps to the military and their families in all the questions of the military and civil war. Ukrainian demining service. The Demine Forest, a safe forest project, demining the forest territories of Mykolaiv to provide safety for the community. We want to invite you to the stage. Thank you.
Sanofi Foundation S.
Sanofi Foundation S. The project Sanofi stands with Ukraine. There's 1 million doses of critically important medicines to provide the support of health of the Ukrainians at the time of war. And we are ready to announce the winners. Epicenter K. Creation of the system that connects the donors with communities directly, providing direct and transparent provision of health, of humanitarian support. We want to thank Epicenter K. We are very glad to be a part of the start of this partnership that happened with the COP29 in Baku. I was very glad to watch it, and we are very happy that we were able to start the dialogue between these two companies. Thank you so much. And from this big stage, I want to thank the Global Compact, because if we didn't go jointly for COP29, we didn't get to know each other. And today with me is Alexander, representative of Norwegian company Itera, jointly in 1 year. And the development took only 3 months, and we were able to start this wonderful platform. What makes it unique is that now all the small communities, small gramadas in Ukraine, in different territorial areas, can apply and get direct help from the donors, and donors can go to the platform, select the project that they want to support. And with the main thing that everything is very transparent and there are no fees for the servicing. So the funds that had to be spent for the fees will now go for the help. So thank you so much. Thanks to everyone. Stay with us. Metinvest company, first steel underground hospital project. The creation of the first in Ukraine underground stabilization medical point near the front line that allows to be saving lives without wasting time or spending precious time for the transportation. Thank you. We want to thank the organizers for inviting us. Very pleasant to be awarded for this project. I think the first days we've been helping our state and done a lot of effort in this direction, but we believe that our first underground mobile stabilization points in hospitals that are now directly at the front line will allow to save that are now able to save thousands of lives. We believe this is one of the main projects of ours, and I want to thank today with you Roman, who is the head of the military group West, without its heat, without whom this project would not be possible. And I want to thank our medics. Roman, thank you. Thank you for the award. It's an honor to be here. The project for now has already allowed to save about 4,000 lives. So we're talking about the military groups 8 to 10 kilometers from the front line, direct front line. And for example, there was a situation when there was a direct hit in the territory of the different dislocation, but the hospital stayed active and working. Soft serve for the future of Ukraine project. Provision of the critical equipment and support of rehabilitation of the wounded. Equipment for support of the wounded for the country at the time of warfare. Thank you so much for this award. Actually, a lot of people have earned it who are working in our fund, who are creating great ideas to us, and then we can focus the help on implementation of the ideas that are very important now. Ukrainian Demining Agency, the project Demining for Renewal. This is the cleaning of mine territories and return for the safe usage by the communities. Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to the team of the Global Compact. This award, first of all, for the miner engineers, people who are working every day, risking their lives, cleaning the land of Ukraine from the explosive items. It is thanks to their work, to the work of all the people from the Ukrainian Demining Agency, from those being directly in the field, to those who are working on planning and responsible for partnership organization. Thank you. And I want to invite everyone for a joint photo. Let's make a photo.
Дякую. Дякую всім. Ми переходимо до наступної категорії.
Категорія ветерани.
And we move on to the veterans, force and veteran empowerment. And I want to invite Yuri Ivaskevich, opera singer, honorable as a singer of Ukraine, before the veteran, before the working, at the start of the full-scale invasion, he started, he joined the military forces. He was wounded at Zaporozhye, and now he is a volunteer and cultural and representative of cultural forces of Ukraine. I want to welcome everyone. Every war ends one day. There will be a lot of veterans after that. There is official data provided by the Ministry of the Veteran Affairs. They believe that after the war, the number of demobilized military men and members of their families will be 5 to 6 million people. What does that mean? This means that veterans will be working in every company, every business, every enterprise. It's not important not to just understand it, it's important to act. And this is the place where a business, we can see the businesses and companies who have been acting, who are creating conditions for the veterans, job employment, uh, who are providing financial and psychological support. And this is very important. And I'm saying to you, this to you as a veteran, as an ambassador of barrier-free environment. Veterans are people who have once protected our country, decided to protect our country. This is a role model that has shown which values are more important for people than personal comfort. And these are the people who will help to build our country and to develop our country. And today I'm honored to invite the finalists and the winners in the category of veteran empowerment.
Компанія Добробут, проєкт медосвіта для героїв. Ми запрошуємо представників
Dobrobut Company, the medical education for heroes. This is a support of a veteran medicines in renewal of their professional skills and further job employment. Thank you. Foxtrot. Foxtrot project. The project and journey with the veteran, how the retailer integrates veterans in the project on creation of conditions for the employment and fast adaptation of veterans in the company. Intellias. The project Resilience, the support of adaptive sports, the development of para-hockey as a tool for rehabilitation of the veterans and sportsmen with athletes with disabilities. And we are ready to name the winner. And the winner is Ukrosybank Paribas Brooks with a project on educational grant program providing the veterans and their families business education, mentorship, and financial support for the start of own businesses. The next company is MHP with their project on support of military veterans and family. MHP is near the building of a long-term support of the veterans and their families. Today, the project aimed at individual support, development of veteran businesses, and rehabilitation of veterans in the community. Greetings to Pavlo. EPAM Ukraine. Support of the veterans for the development of adaptive sports and creation of opportunities for physical, mental, and mental adaptation. Renewal. Levate Technology MPS Denmark. Provision of the veterans with free of pay protests and support of adaptive sports with via international support. And the winners, if you want to say something. Hello, I'm sorry, but my Ukrainian is very bad.
It means a lot. And thank you to our partners, Superhumans, Unbroken, and U+. Yeah, I think that's what I will say. Thank you.
Ми вже сьогодні закликали до
We
партнерства.
have already today called for partnership, and really it's only jointly that we can do more. And today, as never before, we have to join the effort to reach our common goal. We have the one goal, and we all know it, and thank you. And let's move towards the victory together. I want to thank the team of the Global Compact for the award, and to say MasterCard, the T Business, and unfortunately I couldn't hear the names of the partners, but we want to thank all the partners that helped our businesses, the families, veteran businesses to take part, and 68 winners got the monetary help for the support of their businesses. And the pump. Good evening. We wanted to say today, first of all, we wanted to thank the organizers, participants, everyone who gets involved in the social initiatives and projects. But when we were in this stage and also on this seat, when we are listening about these wonderful projects, initiatives, and understanding how much we can do together, joining our effort, I want to thank everyone and thank the military force of Ukraine. Honor to Ukraine, honor to the heroes. And before we ask everyone to the photo, specifically for this category, there is a special nomination from the cultural forces. We want to invite the representative of cultural forces of Ukraine for with their special award. We want to invite Pump for get a special award. Come to us because we are good and everywhere else is bad. So that's a project towards life. So that's a support of the veterans. Jointly with you, we are creating the future of this country. Look what's inside.
У нас сьогодні нагороди в нагородах.
Today we have award within award. Our award is growing now. Our partners wants to be providing their own awards. Thank you, Tatiana. Thanks for your project and for what you're doing, what you've been doing. Sustainability is very important. Thank you. We have a lot of it. I have so much attentions, emotions that I want to sing.
Red roses too, I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Дякую. Дякую дуже за додавання атмосфери.
Thank you so much for this atmosphere. Let's take the photo.
Бажаємо здоров'я. Мене звуть Миколай Серга. Я Саша Чемеров, і це другий сезон фронтової студії. Ми будемо запрошувати різних виконавців, знайомити їх з бригадою.
Вайп є.
Камера.
Імперія має померти. Знаєте, на якому каналі?
А потім таких натхнених повертати нам. А саме
Мені.
Сашу Чемерову.
Да, і з цього, з підножа, ми будемо робити бойову пісню і представляти її вам.
А я нагадаю, що наша фронтова студія, ось цей бус з усім обладнанням всередині, існує завдяки нашому фінансовому партнеру Пумбу. Пумб, дякуємо.
This is our front line that we use as the cultural forces, and it exists thanks to our partner, Pump. Thank you. We will. Such a creative greeting from cultural forces. And we can move further to the next category. to the sustainable economy and growth, and I want to invite Gennady Chizhikov, President of the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Dear friends, dear colleagues, today is like a holiday for me when you feel a part, you will feel yourself within the heroes. You know, they're heroes at the front line. They're heroes who are working every day for the support of our country here in their regions. Resilience is not something abstract. We can feel it every day in every city, to survive, to develop, to help, to think not only about yourself, but to those near you, in every village, city, in the country. And that's why it's a huge honor for me to greet our heroes of the economical frontline who are doing a huge thing, demonstrating with their success their respect to the community, to the country, and to our development. Honor to Ukraine. And I would like to say that economical growth and sustainability, the first company is EQUA, the project on definition of real needs of the students to create the new practical program for preparation of future lawyers. So survey on real needs of the students. The next company, Kaprol Ukraine, creation of a modern platform, academy for support and retraining of representatives of the construction area. Unfortunately, the sound of the microphone is very weak, or one of the microphones. The next company is Coca-Cola, and it's a Czech, Turkey, Proud Hundreds. Development of career opportunities for women and technical specialists through training and mentorship. Crowell Freire, Ukraine, and their project Crow Audit Next Gen, preparation of the students for work in the audit through practical cases and mentorship. Do we have a representative of Crow Airhealth in the room? No, okay. Next company, PSR Consulting Poland, and their project, the company is 17 targets on enhancement of the awareness of businesses on the targets of the sustainability and ESG. Greetings to our participants from Poland. Element and Energy, the investment in education. Elementum Energy supporting Ukrainian team in competitions, international competitions on legal competitions. To provide them opportunity to take part in the international competitions during the warfare. Funding Hope USA, Funding Hope, breaking the difference between the sustainability and development. Their project that connects businesses and local communities for the development of sustainable businesses. The University of Getman and their project European Digital Hub Win-Win, the development of innovational system for the development of digital transformation of the businesses. Next company, London Intercultural Academy, Great Britain, and the project London Intercultural Academy, the development and creation of available and accessible education for African students through online schools and universities. Next one, the charity fund and MHP to the community, School of Community Leaders, development of community representatives, and implementation of socially important initiatives. And the next one, Modern Expo, That's a company that project with modern synergy business and education as a combination of business and education to prepare students for real life professional challenges. We also want to greet Ukrenergo and their project ESG Project Green Evaluation, the program that joins eco monitoring, energy efficiency, and awareness campaigns in the ESG area. The next organization from Preland Foundation and the project, the School of Internship, the development of SMEs, providing them with practical tools for partnership and financial support for renewal at the time of warfare. And we are ready for our winners. Let me start. The first company, Agroprom Holding Astarta Kiev. The support of SMEs in communities with financing, training, and creation of new workplaces. Greeting. Congratulations on the award. Do you want to speak now or later? No, okay. I want to welcome everyone. We are very grateful for this award. This was Brave project. It's about partnership because Astarta was doing it jointly with Raiffeisen Bank with the fund. The fund Trust in Yourself, 50 veterans and members of the families of the militarymen. They got the grant on the development in the agricultural area. They were trained, but also purchased the equipment. And me as an implementer of this project, as for this organizational points, I can say that our winners, these enterprises, they are unbelievable and wonderful and prosperous regardless of anything. The next winner, Ukrzaliznytsa, and the project Zalizna Zmina, which is the metal change, the preparation of the Ukraine for leadership and through modern educational programs and cooperation partnership with international community. Thank you, colleagues. From all the team, from the whole team of the project Zalizna Zmina, I want to thank Global Compact Network Ukraine for this such a high assessment of us, and I want to thank our partners, Nova Ukraine International Fund, Charity Fund Zalizna Zmina, and one more partner whose name I fortunately couldn't hear because the microphone is so quiet. And we're finishing this year, but we are already preparing for the next year, and we are hoping that everyone here can become our partner in this project. Either share your experience, run the training, share experience to make sure that our future leaders are really ready for the future, looking at them. And another winner, company Superfresh Turkey. The capacity building for women in agricultural sector through the training and guarantees of the of the market opportunities, product marketing opportunities. Thank you. Thanks to everyone. And we can move on to the next category. And our next category is digital transformation and innovations. And I want to invite Alexandra Tsibor, Deputy Minister of Economy of Ukraine for digital development, digital transformation and digitalization. I want to welcome everyone. I'm very glad to be at this stage and to see the businesses, to see the awards that have been given today, to see the business joining despite of the difficult times, finding the solutions. It's particularly important as we are talking about digital transformation today, not just about hype, but not about as about hype, but as about real solutions that are working now, helping in the world, in economics, in energy. We're talking about the solutions that are providing transparency for speeding up the help, that are making that are enhancing the economics, that are making the processes more transparent, that decrease the professional and reputational risks. And it's very important to say that the projects have a lot of sensible data, and the companies that will be awarded, they have done huge work as for the protection of this data. And this cybersecurity is super important today. And we're looking at the companies who are already, implementing digital solutions that are working today. And there will be also a special part of the awards to those companies, to people who are supporting us through the whole year, with whom we were building these solutions and preparing the solutions and providing them to the Ministry of Economics, of Economy of Ukraine. Thank you. We see that the part of the guests are already celebrating their victory, and in the meantime, we go to the award ceremony part for the Digital Transformation Innovation Compact. Beetroot Academy, providing practical skills and effective integration of AI to the educational process for educators. Use Scutum, responsible AI methodology of the effect assessment, FIDRIA. The project on implementation of preventive methodology on decrease of the level of disinformation and human rights break at the time of during the performance, in the scope of performance of AI system. Cetorio project iLearn, free of pay online product. Free of pay online product for preparation for exams that makes the exam preparation or educational materials accessible for every student in Ukraine. Seneca ESG, Singapore, provision on transparency of ESG data, provision of a platform Epic that has lost company to centralize ESG data, automate the processes, and become compliant to international standards. And we really hope that our finalists from Singapore are watching us today. See Just Latvia. Application for social and the audit. This is development and testing of a prototype and combining the expertise for the creation for the platform. Latvia, greetings to you. Now, Public Enterprise Infotech, digital platform. The project on providing the citizenship with fast, transparent, and inclusive services with a unified platform. The next, Zesman Group. Integration of universal and custom AI models in the businesses to enable companies to enhance the efficiency of their teams and enhance the speed of the operations. And these are our participants from Odessa. We will send them the other finalists award. And now the winners. Hungary, creation of a cloud MMS platform to provide sustainable electricity market functioning at the time of warfare. Syngenta, digital diagnostics of the soil health, obtaining complex data of the soil state to enhance the to improve the soil state and enhance the crop levels. DTEC and the brand Yasna Digital project, providing the full digital access to the electricity services that provide barrier-free, continuous, and transparent services.
Так, давайте
We
оголосимо.
can go to special awards. Yes, let's announce our partners. Yeah, from the Ministry of Economy, we want to award the company Portal and Borodachuk Artem, the company head of GR. A lot joint work has been done with the Pulse project, a super important project for a healthy dialogue between the government and the businesses that has also proven its success, and we already see the first results of the project. Dara company. Ilya Filipov, CEO and co-founder of the company. We want to thank for your developments in education and our joint project, Google and Dara, AI courses for businesses, small and medium enterprises. Very important project today. Thank you. And then I am Idea, creative agency of Fina. Igor Finashkin, CEO and co-founder. I want to thank you so much that all our projects, Paul, Sobriche, are very nicely and easy to understand, have nice and clear identity. It's very important. And thanks for the design of the policies and everything for all your employees. And also Podi, Ukraine, especially Maximum Tragler, the operational executive director and co-founder, and Alexandra Kostura, head of delivery, who will be getting the award today, who have been working with us the whole year with our projects that we will show this spring, but that was a very fruitful year on working on them. And they've already got award in another nomination, but I want to thank Sorov for all the support of Aubrey Pro platform. That's very valuable. Thank you so much for your support. Common photo? And the winners, if you want to say something or to tell something about your project, please, an open microphone. First of all, I want to thank for the wonderful award for today's holiday, for noting us, and for us, digital transformation is about adapting to the current reality, because if we do not update, there will be no development. And I think this has started, I remember so long ago when we started moving to the smartphones, and I want to wish everyone more light, if not outside, then inside. Thank you. Good evening. I also want to thank the jury and the organizers of this event. This was very nice, very good. And I also would like to share this event with our partner, Farmer Union Srokastoup. And I would say it's not us who own the land. We are a part of this land. We are a living part of this land. And when we are taking care about the health of the soil, its state, we are also taking care of ourselves and the future of our generations, our future generations. Thank you so much. Very pleasant to be at this stage. And I want to say that 11 years ago, when we were creating the first educational materials online, we would have about 30 people at the conference if we were lucky. And now we have this huge number of unbelievable initiatives that are related to education, digital products, and they're intercontinental. So I'm sure we are progressing. Ukraine is progressing, and I'm so thankful to everyone for building really democratic, efficient solutions in these very different, directions that everyone presented here are working. Thank you, and it's so pleasant to be awarded among all of you, with all of you being here. Thank you so much. And also Igor Finashkin wrote to me that he wants to say something. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And yes, many years ago when I was working in different countries, and unfortunately very often I could hear that people from Ukraine saying, when they ask, what are you doing here? People would say, well, our country is not that good. The situation is not that good. That's why I moved here. And I would say I was so irritated with that I thought that everyone who can walk and think will be leaving because the country is not that good, then who will make it that good? And then I decided to return to Ukraine and invest my competences, my knowledge, my skills to Ukraine and started creating a team to make cool projects in our country. And I want to say that to call all the responsible businesses, please invest maximum resources for people to stay in the country, invest in their talents, their proactivity, their competence and energy in the country, and then the whole country will be developing. Thank you. Thanks to everyone. We will let the whole category go, but not for a long time. I really want to have a common photo with all the fans. If someone can invite the people from over there where we all will go now, soon, but not yet. I want to invite everyone for a common photo, but before that, I want to greet my own team and to thank my own team without whom this event wouldn't have taken place. It's the seventh time now. When 8 years ago I was starting, I was the only person, me and my assistant, and we did everything, just two of us. But now I have a huge, super powerful team who are helping at every stage of preparation, concept, implementation, and for me, this is a huge happiness, luck to have these people. And I want to ask my team to come here because it is the day of celebrating our partnership as well. You see how what a beautiful, strong team we've got. Our girls, boys. Actually, we have a bit more boys than you see on the stage now, but our wonderful girls are also doing huge changes, making huge changes happen. Thank you. And a little bit more attention. We have 3 partnership cases that are very important, super important, and show how you can unite for the good of many, many people. First one is cultural forces. The project Ukraine is here because the troops are here. That initial initiative that was ruining the stereotypes about the This territory is about infantry, sorry. And Sotasim Group, this cinema almanac, the war with the eyes of animals. I remember how we were crying at COP29 where we watched it for the first time. That's a cinema project that shows the world the catastrophe, but also the humanity of people in Ukraine and the kindness. And Starlight Media Project, the principles of the business friendly to the veteran. Creation of the national principles that will set the standards for the support of the veterans and veteran businesses and joining the companies at common responsibility. Joining the businesses with common responsibility. Thank you. Dear colleagues, if you want to say something about your projects, your impressions. Thank you. We want to thank the experts. We want to thank for the partnership. And thanks for showing us. And at COP29, we first shown our first 3 novels. And that's how it all started. And then there were more of them. Glory to Ukraine. Glory to the heroes. Dear colleagues, that's where we're ending our award ceremony. I want to ask everyone to come up the stage to make a photo to see how many of us here are. And maybe the person standing next to you will be your wonderful partner for 2026, please. Whether you've been finalist, award winner, everyone here, we're all people who are joining their effort for the good. Please, let's go up to the stage.
Поки всі збираються, я з дозволу організаторів теж скажу
While
слово.
everything is gathering, and I want to say that I'm really glad to be here and to see all the representatives of the companies who are doing so much, to move this, to make sustainability closer. I would say for me, really, sustainability is about equality in the huge meaning, not general meaning, not just gender or age. It's about being equality with our children, grandchildren, here to make sure that they could live at free land with the ecology that is not worse than one we have now. And today, the readers were so equality with our descendants, and also one of the award winners today was the Demining Agency, and with them we have already Demining History, and we are very glad that we are cooperating with such people. And we also want to thank all our partners who are with us every day. Ukrainian Gas Blend, they're also our partners, and they didn't know that we're working together at the Global Compact, And I want to thank everyone. I want to thank every organizer.
Дякую вам всім.
Thanks to everyone.